W.F. Howes presents an unabridged recording of M is for Mummy by Katy Cox, narrated by Charlotte Strevens. Prologue. It started with a fart. Not any ordinary fart, but a fart with purpose. A fart that was to change our lives forever. It was 6:30 a.m., and Ed had already left for work, as he had to be there early for hair and makeup. He was going to be playing live on Good Morning Britain, strumming his guitar behind Josh Groban, whilst I was stuck at home cutting a banana into identical semicircles, hoping that they'd pass Stanley's thorough inspection. But then came the fart, and with it came a gush of fluid which exploded all over the floor with the force of a burst water main. There was no time to process what had just happened, because Stanley had already appeared in the doorway. "Excuse me, but where is W?" he said, as he walked in, clutching a letter V in one hand and a Y in the other. "I need it! I need it! Need it! Need it!" he chanted 4 times, because he was 4 years old, and in his mind, every demand had to be made exactly 4 times. "Stan, Mummy is having a bit of a problem here. Can you wait a second?" But of course he couldn't. "Need! Need!" he continued, the hysteria in his voice rapidly escalating. "Need! Need!" There was little choice but to ransack the flat looking for the letter W to complete his treasured alphabet puzzle. So whilst the floor became saturated with the birth waters of his unborn brother, I tore the living room apart, and eventually I found it wedged between the sofa cushions. The crisis was thankfully averted. With Stanley entertained, lining up his letters in the lounge, I threw a towel down on the wet kitchen floor, stuffed a pad in my pants, and grabbed my phone to call Ed. As usual, he didn't answer, so next on the in case of emergency list was my best friend Charlie. "Charles, it's me. My waters have gone. Ed is at ITV and I'm alone here. Can you come?" A simple but shrill fuck flew out of her mouth, and after pausing briefly to collect herself, she said, "OK, let me just stick on a bra, cancel my gig and call in the cavalry. I'll be over in 10. "Haul ass," I said. "Promise you won't faff about?" "I won't. I won't." But she would, and she did. After checking that Stanley was still happily engrossed in his puzzle, I hurried to the bathroom to remove 9 months' worth of body hair in preparation for my impending showcase of nakedness. I hadn't actually seen my Fanny since conception, and I was determined that this time she was going to look her best. Unlike when I gave birth to Stanley and wound up in hospital with a 70s disco bush furno grooving out of my pants.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?